Good morning, all. This is Rose Ribbons Crochet and Crafts. Once again, my name is Yawa, and I will be doing a tutorial on basic hat construction. I posted some hats earlier, and hopefully, this will help people who are interested in making that hat themselves. Okay, so this is red heart yarn, just regular white yarn. It's number 4. I don't know if you can see that. That's the number 4. And I like the red heart for hats because it's kind of firm, so it helps for the structure of the hat, helping to keep it together and not just fall apart. It depends on what kind of hat you're making. Not all hats are good for red heart yarn, so but for particular types of hats, the red heart is really good for that. So here we go. This is how I start. I don't make any like magic circle. I just simply I take the yarn, I put the needle here behind the yarn, and I just flip the tail that's in the back over to the front, and then I just hold it like that. And then I start my chaining. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Okay, so the first 3 chains counts as a double crochet. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to start my next stitch, yarn over, put the hook into that first chain, and pull through. Whoops. See that straighten out there. Come on, come on, come on. I got a video to do. All right, there we go. Okay, so that's the second stitch. Okay, so I'm doing 12. 3 and 4. And this is a basic technique for pretty much all hats. All hats start this way. The starting stitch count may vary, but you're starting with a circle. What's that? 7. Let's see. 8, 9, and 10, and 11, and 12. Okay, let me just count and check. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then the first 3 chains counts as the first one, or 12. Okay, if you count, depending on which way you count. Okay, so anyway, 12 in a ring, and then when you've got 12, you're gonna slip stitch into that chain right there, top chain, top of the chain 3, pull through. All right. And then we go 1, 2, 3, and then in that same space you're gonna put another double crochet, and then now you gotta watch this one. Sometimes this gets really, this chain, this space right here gets like choked, so you gotta make sure that you put the 2 stitches in those chains right next to those first 2, and then this is your first increasing, so you're putting 2 in each one all the way around. 2, 2. And I like to use light color yarn for tutorials because it's really easy to see what's going on. So for future tutorials, I most likely use light color yarn. This works up really quick. I mean, that other hat, I did it like in practically no time. One and 2, and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. I'm gonna put this yarn someplace else so that it flows a little easier. Let's see. That'll work. Okay. Alright, so I put the yarn behind me. So it just pulls through it up. I mean, I'm gonna crochet anyway, so right, might as well do a tutorial. All right, okay, so that's, and you always want to count because um, the increase is in this particular type of increase. I mean, there's different ways to increase, but this particular method, it's important that the stitch count remains consistent. Okay, so what I did also, I just pulled that tail, and you see how nice and tight that is. No space, no gaps, nada. That's really tight. And then what you want to do, I mean, I usually do this at the end, but before you weave it in, and some people like to use needles, but I find that the hooks work a little better. You want to grab that tail and pull it through, and then pull it back down to the other side. Because if you just pull it and cut it, it's going to come back open. So you want to make sure and really, you know, secure that tail before you cut it. You'll just have to, like, you know, I like to weave it so that it's as inconspicuous as possible. That's showing. Let's see. Well, you could just bring it back. Let's see. That's why I like the hook, because sometimes you gotta just get in there and, you know. Okay, so that's after a while I won't even notice. But okay, so that's woven in. I'm not ready to cut it yet because I'm probably gonna weave it in a little bit more. Because even so you can, if you can still pull it tight, that means it can still come undone, right? So see that? Okay, so you pull it tight, and you want to, like, you know, weave it so that when you, if you pull on it again, it doesn't come out. But that's a finishing step. Okay, so this is this would be round 2. I'm closing round 2. So I'm slip stitching here, slipping into the top of the chain 3. Now I'm going to chain 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put 1 double crochet in the next space. And then, no, wait, that's wrong. We go increase. Okay, so it's, so this is the first chain 3. That counts as a double crochet. Now I'm doing an increase. And then from here on, it's going to be alternate double crochet and increase. So that's an increase, and then a double crochet, and then a double crochet increase. I should specify that it's a double crochet increase because there's several different kinds of increasing. All right, so did I do that right? Double increase, crochet, double crochet increase, double crochet increase. And I'm not gonna do this part. I think I'm just gonna show how I did the shells in and around, because it might be a really long video if I do the whole thing. I guess I could pause it after I finish the main part of the hat. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how quickly this works up. It's really quite fast. And if you use thicker yarn, you can also use the same technique, but what you'll have to do is just adjust the number of increase row before you do the sides. So, of course, if you use thicker yarn, you know, the top part is gonna work up much faster. Maybe I'll do a tutorial on that. I have a lot of chunky yarn too. I like the chunky yarn, it's fun. Works up really fast. Okay, so let me see. Where it's okay. Continue on. Yeah, I think I'll just do the show how to do the shells on this. I'm gonna do one row. I mean, it's gonna be a really tiny hat. It'll probably fit a doll or something. But I just wanted to show how to do the shells in a round. 1, 2. So 10 minutes, and I've been talking. I mean, if I was just crocheting straight, I'd probably be a lot further along. But because the whole hat is like 12, 13 rows, so you know that doesn't take too much time. And you can do a lot of variations with this. You can make it striped. You can, there's so much you can do. So it's really, good to have a basic hat pattern that you can build on and do your own creations with. Okay, coming around to the last increase. And the reason why it's important to do the stitch count, because if you're gonna do an embellishment that's based on a particular stitch count, then you want your stitches to be consistent. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to do that. Okay, so now I'm gonna do one just single double crochets all around. So of course the first, let's see, that's 1, 2, okay, 3. Just so that I have a lot of enough stitches to demonstrate the shell stitching around. Whee! Here we go. Whee! Holidays are coming. You might want to make yourself a hat, holiday hat. Make some hats for family members. Make some hats for a friend. You can do some hats for charity. I've done a lot of hats for charity. For what was that? There was an organization where they had would ask people to make hats for preemies. So I made a bunch of hats for preemies. As a matter of fact, let's see. That's why I had wanted to do that hat over again, because I did run a beanie hat with the little shells in it, and I thought that was so nice. But it was for a preemie. It wasn't adult size. So, and you can see it's already, once you start doing the straight rows, it already starts to curve. So, because you've stopped increasing. So, let's see where we're at. Almost there, yeah. And oh, they're playing my favorite song. I gotta get that. I don't know if you guys can hear it. YouTube has rules. You can't play other people's music on your video. But I like to play music while I work, so I play music quietly in the background. But sometimes they can pick that up too. Alright, I'm not gonna worry about that. Otherwise, you're just doing a video in dead space, and that's boring. Or, well, they have music you can choose that's available for free use, but then I have to go through all the music, and that's just more time. So I figure, hey, just play some music quiet in the background. I mean, I can always add music later, but that's not really that important. It does enhance the video, but that's another issue altogether. Okay, so how many stitches is this? Let's see. All right, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I counted it because the shell stitch is done in multiples of 6. And if you're doing it in rows, then it's multiples of 6 plus 2, something like that. But anytime you're doing a stitch, the stitches in a round, then you just need the base to be the base stitches need to be just whatever it says the multiples. Like if it says multiples of 12 plus, you know, 3. If it's in a round, then you just need something that's multiples of 12. So this is 36 stitches, so I could do another stitch that's a multiples of 12 because 12 goes into 36 3 times, right? The shell stitch is multiples of 6. 6 goes into 36 6 times, right? 6 times 6 is 36. All right, so here we go. Here's how we do it. I'm slipping into the top of the chain 3. I'm chaining 1, and I'm doing a single, no, 1, 2, 3. We're gonna start with the half shell first. Okay, so I did the chain 3, and then I'm gonna put in another double crochet in the same space, and then another double crochet in the same space, and then I'm gonna skip 2 because that's the method for the shell stitch. So remember that one that gets pulled tight to count that one as one. So I'm skipping that and that one, and then I'm going into the top of the third double crochet, and I'm gonna do my shell. Okay, so one, the shell is 5 double crochets together. This particular shell, there's different kinds of shells, but this particular one is 5 double crochets together. So that's 2, and that's 3, and that's 4, and that's 5. Okay, then we're skipping 2 again, 1, 2, and then we're gonna do your shell again. That's 1, that's 2, 3. It's squeaking because my hands sweat a lot for some reason. Okay, so then the hook gets like, it's weird. I'm not gonna explain all that. All right, so that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1 to skip 2. Oh wait, that's wrong. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, do over, do over, do over, do over. I'm so busy yakking, not paying attention to what I'm doing. All right, so you got your half shell. You skip 2. 1, 2, and then you do your single crochet. There you go. And then you skip 2, and then you do your shell. So you're alternating. You're skipping 2, and you're alternating single crochet and the 5 double crochets and top of 1 double crochet. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then you skip 2 and single crochet. You skip 2, 1, 2. Nope, turn over 1 time. 1, 2. Okay, your shell. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, skip 2. Single crochet and skip 2. 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you skip 2 and single crochet. Then you skip 2 and 5 more. 5. Ooh, 20 minutes. I don't like to make really, really long videos. I like to make them brief and to the point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, and a single crochet. And we skip 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Skip 2, a single crochet. Alright, so now here's the alright, so you're skipping the last 2, and then you're gonna put a double crochet in this space right here. Yeah, right here. Right underneath the first chain 3, you're gonna put your hook there, and you're gonna do 1. Does it go like that? I think you got it. It's best if you put it in that chain. Let me take that out. Otherwise, it's gonna overlap and look weird. Okay, so you want to put it like right in that space. Like there's that loop right there, and then you want to put it like that. That way it's lined up a little better. And then you're gonna put another one in that same space. I have to flip that yarn a little bit. Okay. So now, then you just slip stitch into the top of the chain 3, and that completes that first shell. You see? Voila! Voila. Okay, so now, if you're making another row, the shell stitch is an alternating stitch. So you're going to start with a single crochet. You're going to chain 1 and put a single crochet in the top of that chain 3 where you closed off the first shell, right? So that's your single crochet. And then in the single crochet, you're going to put your 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then when you get to the shell, you're going to put a single crochet in the top of the third of the group of 5. So you got 1, 2, 3. You're going to put your single crochet right there. Okay? So then you're just going to continue around like that. I'm going to put another shell into the single crochet, which is 5 double crochets together. No, not together, but in the same space. And then in the next shell, 1, 2, 3, put your single crochet. And then you just continue around like that. And that's how you do the shells in the round. Now this is kind of cute too. You can do, I mean, if this was a beanie, this would give you a nice scalloped edge, right? So you can do just, look at it, see how it's coming out. I mean, this could be so many things. Every time I crochet something, I see what else it could be other than what I'm making. I mean, this could be like a bowl. You could add like fabric stiffener, or even like this. If you use very stiff yarn, it's like a little bowl. I mean, I've made, like, for example, this thing. That's something else too, right? I mean, once you learn like some basic techniques, there's like so many things you can make. This is not from a pattern. This is just something I made up from just learning some techniques, and I made it into like a little. I put these little soaps in it as like just a little bathroom decoration. These were a friend of mine had given me a set of these little soaps as a gift, and I just put them in here just to keep them in a special place. So this is like just a little, I don't even know what to call it, but it's really cute, and it just comes from just when you once you learn techniques, other ideas come into mind, and and I made this little stopper, all just I put some what did I put in there? I put some, these are just little glass beads. These are the little beads that you can that they use in vases to keep the stems stable in flower arrangements. So it's like, how many is in here? Let's see, it's about 7 or 8. I just squeezed them all in there because without any weight in it, it used to just like fall off all the it never stayed in place. This way with the little weights, it stays in place. This is really cute, so I might like just look it over and see how I can make another one and write down the pattern, because this is just like a really cute little thing. So, but anyway, back to my hat. Right. So, yeah, you can make it, of course, bigger and longer sides, and with this particular finishing, you can just you know, leave it as is, or you can even it off as I showed in the first video, and this size could probably be like maybe for a preemie. I mean, if you like to make preemie hats, this would probably fit a preemie. It's really small. And of course, for larger sizes, you're just gonna do more increases. This is just 3 rows before I started the side, just to demonstrate. So that's 1, 2, yeah. So you could just keep increasing out. Let me show you something else too while I'm at it. This is a beret. This is just, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Increase. Let's see. Right. Okay. So that's how wide you can make it. With the increasing. This is that same technique. I use a little different stitch. I use the cluster stitch on this because with just double crochet, it tends to look, kind of, I don't know. I just prefer this look. So this is a beret, and of course this is not from a pattern either. This is the other side, and you know how a beret fits. But when you get to this part, you have to start your decreasing until you get um, to this part, which is the part that's actually going to fit on your head. So yeah. But anyway, that's this is just from a basic technique. So many things you can make. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I demonstrated how you do the shell and the round, and the importance of the stitch count, because the shell stitch is done in multiples of 6. So this started out with 12, and then increasing, and then increasing by, well, how many does it increase by? It increased by 2 every time, right? Yeah, from 12, 24, 36. No, wait, 12. Yeah, 12. Started with 12, 24, 36. And then I did a single row, so it's still 36, which is a multiple of 6. And that's it. I think I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Alright, so hopefully you get the general idea. And maybe I'll make a big one, and then I'll show you the completed hat in the white yarn. Okay, so thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.